Hi, everybody. So we are now going into our Reiki 2 symbol deep dive. I just need to make sure that the volume is turned off so that way I don't get distracted by the YouTube stream. If anyone joins live, I am here to answer your questions. Just go ahead and type them in the comments, and I'll be able to see them so that way I can answer your questions, okay? But if not, you can just go ahead and comment in Google Classroom or on your exit ticket, and we'll address any further questions that you have. But let's go ahead and get started. So we talked a little bit about the symbols yesterday. The first big one, Chokurei, that's our power symbol and activator. So I have a little pronunciation guide on here. So we have Cho, Ku, and Ray. So that's how you pronounce the mantra that goes along with this first power symbol. We use it, or the meaning is to cut, to remove illusions, to see the whole, penetrating, a sword slicing through, and then Ray, universal, omnipresent, present everywhere. So it kind of matches what the symbol's doing. It has like a cut and then that omnipresent, universal flowing through. um, there, we didn't get into this yesterday, but there is a modern version of drawing Chokurei where it goes the opposite direction. So rather than counterclockwise, it goes clockwise. And so one is seen as increasing energy, and then the other is seen as decreasing. So it's still used to balance. Um, but for your test, we just want to make sure that you're able to write the counterclockwise one. Okay. Um, so then we have Seiheki, which is our harmony symbol, emotional and mental balancing. So Sei meaning birth or coming into being, and then Heiki, which is balance and equilibrium. Um, then we have Hon Sha Ze Sho Nen, um, which is the distance symbol and transcends time and space. So Hon meaning the essence or cause, Sha meaning coming into existence, Ze harmonizing appropriately, and Nen the heart or the thoughts now. Okay, so it's taking everything from past, future, bringing it here, working on it in the now. Okay. Um, I'll go into drawing them at the end. So here we have Chokurei. You can see that there are a ton of different uses for Chokurei. We use it for protection. We use it for clearing. Um, you can draw it big all over yourself, all over your partner, by visualizing this giant gold chokurei in front of you or whatever else that you're protecting, and just imagining it absorbing and shielding you from all of those negative energies, so that way you just stay super cool. So this is a really great thing to do prior to your sessions. Um, yeah, and so you can use it to protect yourself while traveling by beaming Chokurei on airplanes, trains, pilots, drivers, whatever else. So Seiheki is more for our emotional body. Chokurei, we tend to use it more for like our physical body. Um, but Seiheki is really just getting at those emotions. So we talked about the misuse of drugs or alcohol and helping with that. It can help calm phobias, nervousness, or fear. It's also a protector, so you can use the Reiki sandwich to do chokurei, seiheki, chokurei, um, for protection and balancing your emotions. And really, when it comes to protection, it's less about it's getting out of your head of, "Oh, I'm not protected," or, "Oh, this is so scary." And so it helps to balance your emotions around that and really be able to be confident and, "No, I am protected. I'm good. I don't need to worry about this. Um, so psychic protection on all levels. You can also use it as a house protection, for blessing all of the corners of your room, and just kind of creating the safe boundary of protection around everything. Um, so Honsha Shonen, um, which is our distance symbol. So this one, we don't use it as much, but we use it for very specific reasons. So we use it anytime we're not able to physically get our hands on people. So beaming, sending Reiki to things in the future, in the past. Um, so we talked about this a little bit, and what happens when we send Reiki to the past. So we send Reiki to the past to lift it up, to understand and release the trauma. It works deep-seated diseases and long-term imbalances. So if something is recurring in your life, or you're having a really hard time letting go of it because that trauma is really strong, what you do is use the symbol to send Reiki to the past, but not just like a random point in the past. This could be something that may have happened multiple times in your lifetime or even in other lifetimes. And so you visualize the first time that it happened and you send Reiki to that moment. You can use it for inner child work and healing your inner child. Um, you can use it to work with your children, send Reiki to your children while they're resting and you don't want to touch them because that will wake them up. Um, so this is a big one. You can use Honshaze Shonen to when you're working on a client or working even on yourself and you don't want to reach to the back to place your hands in those hand positions, what you can do is you can use this distance symbol on the chakras and intend that the back chakras will come to the front. So that way you can just work on placing the hand symbols in the front. I really like to do this because when I have somebody that I'm physically working on, um, I don't want to have them flip over in the middle of whatever experience that they're having. It just seems disruptive to me. And so I just use the distance symbol to intend that the back chakras come to the front so that way they can also get attention. Okay. Um, So we talked about the Honsha Shonen poem. So this is a poem that I adapted from the one that's available on Reiki Rays. It just makes a little bit more sense to me, and so I thought I would share it in case anyone else finds that it's useful. So, a light being with wings. This first part right here just looks like a being. So we've got the wings coming out, we've got the bottom of the wings, and then like little feet on the bottom. Comes down to earth. So here's the earth and is sliding down to a home of a man and a woman. So here we have the home, here we have the man, and here we have the woman. They are reminded of their connection to the mountains. So here we have our mountain, and I picture that line like the snow line on a mountain, like when you're a kid and you're drawing the snow on there. Um, and the rivers. So here we have our river. The seven just reminds me of a river, and they're happy. And so again, this is bringing back to, for me, it's symbolizes what the symbol is all about, and just kind of remembering, bringing that balance and moving forward. So this is what helps me remember just what this symbol looks like. And also when I was memorizing uh, how to say the mantra Hon Sha Ze Shonen, I just couldn't with the vertical. I had to stack the words, so I had Hon Sha Ze Sho Nen. So I had to vertically write each little segment of it, and that helped me to remember that a little bit better. So if that helps you out, happy to do that. So Reiki sandwiches, we talked about this a little bit last week, but here we'll get into a little bit more specifics. So they can either be applied to a specific body part or wherever you're working. So you can do um, oh, sorry. You can do chogure, 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 seheki, 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 chogure, chogure, chogure. Now you'll notice right there, I was talking and drawing at the same time. While you're learning these symbols, it's completely okay to draw it first. So go boop, 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 chokure, chokure, chokure. Boop, 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 boop. Seheki, seheki, seheki. Chokure, chokure, chokure. So you can slow down. You do not have to do this fast. The speed will come with time, and the more comfortable you get with this, the easier that will be. Um, So what you can do is you can send this using your hands. You can also beam it directly in from your third eye into the participant's third eye. So what you do is you mentally imagine that you just drew out the sandwich. So you see everything, you chant the mantras either out loud or in your head, and you beam it to them using your third eye. So when you do that, though, you always need to make sure that you ask for consent from your participant's highest self, even though you've already have consent to send the Reiki. Like this is just an extra added layer that can be really, really powerful. So what it does is it creates this really strong two-way connection between you and your recipient. Um, and what I like to do before I do this is that it so I like to say this little like prayer. So like I am a clear channel for the Reiki energy and I'm highly protected. So just as an extra reminder that I'm not going to absorb any of this. But what that third eye to third eye connection does is it really helps to get at anything that's in the mental body around um programs that aren't for your highest good around releasing trauma. So it can be really powerful, but just yeah, just remember that and just treat it with the utmost respect. It's not something to be taken lightly. um, and so then we have the full Reiki sandwich. So we do chokure, seiki, chokure, hon sha ze shonen, and chokure. um, and so you can use those whenever you need. So the first one would be like if you're addressing emotional issues that are going on right now and are more present. You use the full Reiki sandwich with the Hon, Sha, Ze, Sho, Nen in order to move the Reiki energy to the past or to the future. Okay, so that's kind of the distinction on when you use the Seiheki sandwich versus the full Reiki sandwich. Okay, so that's it. If you would like to stay for the rest of just kind of a line by line how to draw the symbols, you're welcome to. But that's pretty much it for this. Okay, so next I'm going to go into um, how to draw or an example of how to draw the symbols. So I'm going to go ahead and share over here on my iPad. Okay, so here's the iPad. Oh no, where's the app? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. All right, so the first one we'll do is chokure. So it goes like this. Down. So this is the first one right here, the bottom. That's the first point that it crosses. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the last one finishes with just a little curve up. So that's chokure. I'll show you. So this one right here, this is the one that you will need for your test. This is the other one that you can play around with and see how you like it, but just make sure that this one is the one that you draw on your test. So we go this way, but this time we'll go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it goes down. Chokure. So you can play around with that and see which way, see what the swirl does. So take a second and play with it. So call in the Reiki energy, call in Chokure, do it one way and see if you notice anything about the color, about the texture of the energy when you're playing around with it. Okay, so we'll clear this page. Our next one, Seiheki. So we start here. So I like to call this the less than symbol, but lightning bolt or less than whatever, and then slide down into the 5. And then it goes around. And then little hump, little hump. Okay, so the humps are not connected. You can see that in the handout and the one that I drew here, they're a little bit closer together. You know, just do your best, but keep the order the same and just make sure that it generally looks like this. So this is Seiheki. And now we've got the big guy. So we have our light being with wings. So we're going to start here. Comes down to earth, to a house, with a man and a woman. They're reminded of their connection to the mountains and the rivers, and they're happy. Okay, so that's how you draw Hon, Sha, Ze, Sho, Nen. Hon, Sha, Ze, Sho, Nen. All right, and that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help out, but make sure you take some time and play around with what do the different symbols feel like in your hands. Okay, bye.